All right, I'm going to take you through this recent score I'm working on. It's for a spec ops military kind of Delta operator type of film. It's been a lot of fun, and I want to take you through the emotional process musically of creating these feelings, these emotions, kind of how I like to work. For me, that's more important than any of the technical musical production or anything like that. I want to take you through that process. Okay. So I'll just play you the track. Let's just listen to where we're at.
2-3, this is Hitman 2-2, over. Hitman 2-2, you're coming in weak and unreadable. Try clean your handset. Try again. Hitman 2-3, this is Hitman 2-2, how you read me now? 2-3 has you loud and clear. Out. Hitman 2-3, this is Hitman.
So, very simple piece, right? There's not a lot going on. It's just ultra vibe and emotion for the scene or for this film, right? That's the idea of film scoring is you're just trying to invoke a feeling. You're not caring about the musical technicality, or the music is not the focus here. It's the feeling, right? So in this case, interestingly enough, I didn't have any clips or edited cuts from the film finish to even get started on. And that would be ideal, right? If I have scenes from the movie and then I can pair something to it. So in this situation, I needed to grab a still, which I got down here, from the storyline, right? So this is like a Delta CAG operator. Looks like this is pre-operation, so he's got his nods and optics, and he's ready to go into the work, right? So I have that, which is actually cool though, because that puts me in that vibe instantly within like 2 seconds. My brain can process that and put me there, right? So that means there's even more direct pressure for the music to put you there too, without a visual cadence of building dialogue or storyline or action sequence or editing or anything like that. I have to just go off of a cover art, So that's good. So again, you use these things to your advantage, right? And again, it's just focus on the emotion. So we had that. So I knew where I was headed. And then, to just get things rolling, I was like, okay, what, if I set a slow kind of pulsing tempo, like you heard, that's going to give me this mission march kind of jog type of tempo, which is where these things are at on these ops. These ops are not chaotic. This is not like really dramatic and stuff going crazy and overdrawn. These guys are very dialed in. This is very just run-of-the-mill execution for these incredibly impressive operations, but that's the mindset. I'm trying to put you in the mindset of them, okay? So they're really stable and they're really calculated and everything's super dialed in. So we have that tempo. And then the first thing, I like to build the most important and then go from there. So I needed some pulse, heartbeat, boom, kind of throbbing tension. Okay. And so if I turn everything off and I just play this bass sample, here's what we got. All right, so we got some throbbing pulse. Let's add in more bass. Now we're kind of floating a little bit, right? In like a circle, okay? So because we're floating, we have that kind of, it's almost like a rotor, and from the Chinook or the helicopter or whatever they're gonna fly in on. Now I need to add in some authority and some leadership here. So let's add in the kick. So now I have that waypoint authority and I have the floating. So we get the mix of emotion, which is what they're feeling, right? Because again, on one end you have this direct authoritative approach, like go do things by the book and chain of command and all those things. And then in a lot of other ways, you're flying around on helicopters and crashing into stuff and dropping in on stuff. And, there's a lot of variables here, right? So you get the mix of emotion. Let's add in some tension. So let's just listen to that. 2 conflicting notes, pensive, mysterious, ominous part of the feelings, right? Let's add in more. Ooh, we got some angelic Moby sampling going here. It's not even a Moby sample, but it sounds like something out of the 90s. And now we have this angelic, positive, tranquil, meditative aspect to the feeling, right? Which is part of the feelings too. You know, a lot of these guys, it's like you're facing life or death often. And I'm sure there's a bit of Zen that has to take place going into these things where you don't freak out, right? So we want to bring in all of these emotional components from the character, okay? Let's add in some actual ambience from the potential dialogue here.
You know, locals, just keep your eyes on them.
Some basic comms, which is just a placeholder for now. I don't have dialogue from the film to go off of, so I have to work off of something.
If you look like right in the center of it, there are some people moving
So
around, like
again,
white
emotionally, when
clothing.
you hear these guys on the comms,
That's what it looks like to
the
us.
realistic ones, it's not very bravado. It's not all over the place and dramatic and screaming and yelling. It's super dialed in and just almost like they're having a casual day at the office conversation, right? So we want to get that tranquil, still quality just as much as we want the aggressive, you know, things are throbbing, right? So let's bring all those elements back in.
Roger, 2-3 out.
Now we have the full picture. See? I have aggression, direction, pensiveness, mystery, intensity, serious, but also a little bit of grace in here.
Hitman 2-2, you're coming in weak and unreadable. Try cleaning your handset. Try again.
So that's it. That's you know, a quick rundown of a track that I could use for a few minutes of film, and you know, just going off of nothing but a picture and a couple of samples. I mean, that's it, and just focusing on the emotion. How do I get to that chemical of the feeling? So